Hi, welcome to the BYD Shark 6 walkthrough video from the team here at Ebbett. So firstly, let's start off with the key fob. The top button is your lock button. It can also be used when pressing it for over 3 seconds to close all windows. Second, we have your unlock button, which unlocks all doors. Long press for over 3 seconds and you'll open all windows. The next button you push twice to drop your tailgate. The fourth button is a remote start feature. You keep the car locked, press this button and it remotely starts the car, which is great for features like your air conditioning. In the summer, you can cool the car down, and in the winter, you can heat it up before you go on your journey. Another option for getting into your car is buying an NFC card like this. This can be a card like PayWave. You tap it on the mirror to unlock the car, jump in, push the start button, away it goes. When you're finished, you get out, tap it on the mirror, locks the car, and away you go. The third option would be to use your BYD app. You can set up a digital key within the app. This can give you access to your car also. Here's the homepage for your app, giving you some key information of your vehicle's current status. You've got current range, battery percentage, fuel percentage. You've got features to unlock, lock, turn your headlights on or off, select the horns so you can find it in a car park, opening and closing windows. We've got things like air conditioning preset temperatures, so we can change the temperature of the cabin before you get in. We've got digital key function. You've got your seat functions. You've got ventilation and heating in the Shark 6. You've got your current GPS location. You've got a link to all of the New Zealand BYD service centres. You have customer support if you ever need roadside assistance, and current vehicle status, which gives you your tyre pressures, whether the doors are open or closed, including your windows, just some basic info for the vehicle. If you click the More Features button, it gives you the option to authorize more than one user for this car. They can then have access to the app as well. Now we're inside the BYD Shark. In the middle, you'll find 2 cup holders. Quite often a handy spot to put your keys. However, they don't have to go in there. These can remain in your pocket or your bag. If using the NFC card, simply tap that here to activate the start function. If using the BYD app and digital key to start the car, place this on the left-hand side where the NFC picture is. If wanting to charge your phone, move it to the right-hand side for the ultra-fast wireless phone charger. To start, simply push the big orange button in the middle of the ute. To select gears, have your foot on the brake and select drive. For park, push the button on top. Anytime you push the P button, the park brake is applied. And for reverse, with your foot on the brake, push the lever forward to let close R. To turn the car off, you simply push the orange button again. Here you'll find your steering wheel release lever. Pull that down, the steering wheel goes up and down, in and out. Lock it back in to secure. Now I'll explain how your seat controls work. To adjust the back of your seat, use the rear lever, tilting back to tilt back or forward to tilt forward. The middle lever moves your seat forward or backwards, up or down, and tilt the front of the seat up or down. In front of this is your lumbar support. This is where you can put more lumbar support for your lower back, up, down, in or out. On the driver's door, you have a few controls. The top button folds your mirrors in. These 2 buttons will adjust your left or right hand mirror. So click, for example, left mirror, adjust up, down, side. Unlock and lock buttons for the vehicle. And then automatic windows for each window, and a child lock button so they can't use windows. Here, I'll take you through the steering wheel controls. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel, the bottom right button will turn your cruise control on. When you get to your desired speed, Flick this toggle down to set your speed. You can speed up or down in 5-kilometer increments. We also have following distance buttons. Minus will make the distance closer, plus will make the distance bigger. The left-hand button scrolls through the menu on the left-hand side of your driver screen. On the left-hand side display, the first option is your tire pressures and tire temperature. Next, we have our past 50 kilometers fuel consumption and electricity consumption. A cumulative fuel consumption and electricity consumption. Liters per hour. And another graph showing fuel consumption and charging consumption. The middle button will turn your 360-degree cameras on. The right-hand controls, you have a page display button which shows the right-hand side of the driver information display. The first display is the music you're currently listening to. Next is your navigation directions. Next is the speed limit function. Press the scroll button to choose your desired speed that you want to set as your limit. Below that is a timer, arrows to flick through options, a toggle to change volume. You also have a phone button to answer and hang up phone calls and a voice command button. The two buttons down here, the left hand has your mode. Simply scroll through this to change your drive mode between normal, eco and sport. On the right hand side, you'll find your terrain button. Scroll through the different terrain modes, which are mud, sand, snow, and mountain. The bottom left of your screen will display how many kilometers you have left in your battery or your current state of charge if you've selected that. Below will have your petrol range left in kilometers. And to the right of that, you have a combined reading of how many kilometers you'll get out of the battery and petrol tank. On the right-hand lever, twist to turn the headlights to automatic, or if you want to manually adjust them, the first click does park lights, the second one turns your headlights on, and push forward for high beam. Your high beam will automatically dip when following or approaching traffic. Beside this, you'll find the fog lamp switch. It's a simple up and down for the indicators. Your Shark 6 will come with a heads-up display. This will show you things like navigation directions, current speed zone, what your cruise control speed is currently set to, how fast you're currently going, your cruise control following distance, and whether your lane assist is turned on or off. In the settings, the heads-up display can have things adjusted like height, brightness, angle. You can change the color of this heads-up display, and you can choose whether you have ADAS or navigation displaying or not. Let's go through the rest of the buttons on the center console. Top right, we have a volume button for the infotainment system. Scroll up or down to change the volume, or push in to mute. Below, we have an air conditioning on-off button. Below that is a front window demister button. Below this, we have an auto hold function, which holds the vehicle at a set of traffic lights so it doesn't move with no feet on the pedals. To your left is the tailgate drop button, stop start button in the middle. Next is the EV or HEV button. This determines whether you're in electric vehicle or hybrid electric vehicle mode. When clicking hybrid electric vehicle, the petrol motor will start and charge the battery. Next is the hazard light button. Above this, we have a traction control off button, which can be helpful when stuck in the mud and you need all wheels to spin. Above this is a parking sensor on-off button. If you want to turn the parking sensors off, click this button. And above that is a downhill descent control button. This is like a cruise control for downhill off-road. Let's go through the quickest way to pair your phone. Slide down on the screen and hold the Bluetooth button. Slide down your smartphone and hold the Bluetooth button. Find available devices and the name of your car. Click connect and wait for the pairing to be recognized. Push pair and OK. your phone will take you through the next permissions, which is things like contacts and Android Auto. Or if connecting with an Apple phone, this will be Apple CarPlay. You can access your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay by the icon at the top of the screen. You can set it up as a widget down the bottom of your screen, or you can bring up the main app page and select it that way. If you've connected your phone via Bluetooth and are not using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, your phone will be connected to the car's system, so all calls will be heard through the vehicle. Now for your infotainment screen. Firstly, you can scroll down and look at some shortcuts. You got things like media volume, navigation volume, center screen, and instrument panel brightness, which can be adjusted by pulling up and down. You have vehicle control shortcuts. These can all be customized by pushing the edit button and pull your favorite shortcuts onto this display. This can give you shortcuts to things like seat warmers and coolers, so you can go straight to your favorite setting. Other features in the scroll down are things like your Wi-Fi connection, Bluetooth connection, changing the screen brightness. These shortcuts can also be edited by pushing this button and moving them across. There are shortcut buttons along the top of the screen to take you straight to the menu you can see, like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You can click the voice command button. Much like your computer, you can customize your background by pushing this button here, changing between different themes. Or you can change to different wallpapers. The next button is where you select whether you want the background to be a picture or your navigation. Along the bottom of the screen, you can add your favorite widgets. Add the one you want, and you can rearrange these by holding and scrolling across. The bottom left of your screen, there's a rotate button to bring it into portrait mode. The other buttons along the bottom of the screen, there's a split screen option where you can choose two different displays on the screen. The third button brings up all of your apps. The middle of the screen shows all your air conditioning controls. You can enlarge these by pressing the middle button there. Next, along the bottom is a picture of a vehicle, which takes you straight to the settings screen. The home button takes you back to your home screen. The last button is the back button, which takes you back to the previous screen you were on. The middle of the screen shows all your air conditioning controls. You can enlarge these by pressing the middle button there. And all your controls within the air conditioning screen is your ambient temperature only, circulating or fresh air coming into the cabin, rear window demister as well as exterior mirrors, front window demister, maximum air conditioning on low, air conditioning on or off, auto fan speed to the temperature you've set, and a fan speed on or off button. Here we can scroll through temperatures, change where the air is actually going. You can manually change your fan speeds down here. Dual will mean the passenger can control the temperature themselves, separate to the driver. Other air conditioning settings are ventilated or heated seats. Click cooling, 2 levels or 1 level of cooling, 2 levels or 1 level of heating. Same applies to the passenger seat. You can also access the rear window and mirror demisters through the screen. The last tab is the settings function, which brings up your menu for air conditioning settings. There are a few shortcuts to these controls down the bottom of your screen that are always there regardless of what screen you're in. Under apps, you can select Media Center to choose which form of media you want to listen to. Under Media, you have options for FM, AM, and digital radio, Bluetooth music from your phone, local storage for music, SD cards or USBs. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, arrows to flick through options, a toggle to change volume. Top right, we have a volume button for the infotainment system. Scroll up or down to change the volume, or push in to mute. When selecting reverse or one of the 360-degree camera buttons, you can bring up a display to show all your different camera options. Each wheel for parking, right front wheel, front bumper, rear bumper, and dual view for checking how close you are with each front tire. On the right-hand side of the screen, you have parking sensor on/off button. You have a transparent view option, and you have a 2D and 3D option for showing you exactly where you're parked. You can activate the voice control by saying "Hi BYD" and tell it a command like "Turn the screen to night mode." Another example would be, "Hi BYD, turn the volume up to 8.
Okay, set the media volume at 8.
You can click the voice command button. The right hand controls, you have a voice command button. The easiest way to open your settings is click this car button at the bottom of your screen. You'll find pages along the right hand side. Click which page you want to view, and then select the tab to run through each option. On the first tab, we have connection, Bluetooth, which we paired earlier. Next, we have the Wi-Fi option. It's a good idea to connect your car to your Wi-Fi, so when your over-the-air updates are ready, your car can take them. Next is the hotspot option to connect your car to a cellular connection. To view all connected devices, bring up the list here. The bottom is where you want to use the vehicle's cellular data. This comes with 2 gigabytes of data per month for the first 2 years. Now on your audio tab, the first option is Dyna Audio Focus. This directs all the music focus to which area of the car you select. And next up is Dyna Audio Sound. Here you can use pre-selected audio sounds, or you can custom adjust your treble, bass, etc. The next option lets you adjust the volume, which is linked to your speed. Below that is your current media volume setting, your phone volume setting while on calls, your ringtone volume setting, the voice volume setting while you're talking, and your navigation volume. Now on the display tab, your first option is to change the brightness of your screen. Below is your screensaver options for what displays when turning your display off. Below you have an adaptive brightness setting, which will dim the screen at night. Next, you can select whether you're in dark mode, light mode, or automatically have this select depending on what time of day. Now on the version tab, your first setting is software version. You can check whether you're on the latest software. Below this, we have restore settings and factory reset. For more in-depth run through of these, go to your owner's manual. Next is the system tab. The top of system gives you an option to automatically sync your time. Below this, if you want to manually select your time zone, you can change this. Here you have a time format option of 24 or 12 hour. And below the time is more settings for language. Under language, there's a memory playback button, which lets you take the media back to where you last were. The bottom tab has your unit settings, where you can change things like temperature display, power display, pressure display for your tires. There's additional user and privacy agreements below. The next tab is your apps. Under the apps section, you can see which apps are downloaded in the car, your security and permission settings within these apps, notifications to see which apps are allowed, and to see which apps are allowed to see your location, microphone, etc. The next page is ADAS. Under ADAS, you can change some of your driver assistance settings like adaptive cruise control. The next tab is Safety Assist. Under safety assist, you can change things like lane keep assist, blind spot detection. Click the little eye to bring up more information about each safety feature and decide whether you want these turned on or off. The next tab is parking assist. Under park assist, you can turn your parking sensors on or off or view your 360-degree camera. The next page in your setting is energy. Under energy, you can change the target state of charge for the battery. For example, if you want the battery to have 70% charge when you get to your destination, turn the save setting on, choose 70%, and when you get to your destination, you should have around that 70% battery. The way the Shark 6 achieves this is by using the petrol motor to generate more power for the battery. Having a higher state of charge enables you to use your battery for other things when you get to your destination. Regenerative braking has two settings. High means the car will de-accelerate at a quicker level, but will also recover energy and charge the battery quicker. The energy display will tell you how much either kilometers or state of charge your battery has left. Range display is a standard or dynamic option. Dynamic is a more accurate reading of how many kilometers will be left. Next is sport mode memory. If you turn this on and you had it in sport mode, it will remember next time you start the car and take you back to sport mode again. The next tab under energy is charging and discharging. First option is smart charging. This allows you to set up scheduled charging. This allows you to set a time for when your charging can start and end. This allows you to take advantage of off-peak charging rates. Next, we have the charging port immobilizer system. If you set this to intelligent, when the car's unlocked, you can plug your charger straight in. When it's locked, the charger will be locked in and won't be able to be removed. Next up is vehicle to load. This is where you use your power points to plug in appliances in the tray or in the cabin. You have settings in here where you can have the petrol motor turn on when the state of charge for the battery is too low. And you can also have a setting where you can continue to charge things after the vehicle's been powered off. And you can choose how long this powers for. The next tab is energy consumption. Energy consumption shows all your power and fuel energy consumption figures. The next page is vehicle. First is steering assist, whether you want steering to be on comfort or sport mode. Next we have brake assist, whether you want that on comfort or sport mode, and comfort parking, which means it stops the vehicle from nosediving when you come to a park. The next tab is light. The first option is to adjust the headlight aim. This is handy if your trailer or weight in the tray is very heavy and your headlights are pointing to the sky, you can bring them down with this headlight level adjustment. Headlights after exit tells you how long the lights will stay on after you've exited the vehicle. Headlights before entering the vehicle, you can choose how long they stay on before you enter. And the intelligent courtesy light will show lights from the mirrors and the headlights before you enter the car. The next tab is comfort driving. The first option is auto wipers, if you want to turn those on. Waiting protection, click the information for more info on how that works. Auto fold mirrors when locking the vehicle. Next up, you'll find HUD for heads-up display. In the settings, the heads-up display can have things adjusted like height, brightness, angle. You can change the color of this heads-up display, and you can choose whether you have ADAS or navigation displaying or not. Up next is instrument. This is where you can change the brightness of your driver instrument display. Below this, we have the navigation display, whether you want that on simple or full screen mode. Below displays your trip computer, whether you want EV or total trip. Our next tab is air conditioning. The first AC mode is whether you want eco or comfort to save energy. The remote AC schedule in minutes. This, when you remote start the vehicle, tells you how long the air conditioning system will run for before it turns itself off. Auto internal circulation when parking. This will stop fumes from cars in front of you getting into your air conditioning system when parked at traffic lights. Auto fan speed reduction during Bluetooth calls. This means that your voice won't be overpowered by the noise of the fans. The next setting is for your seats. This is where you can choose your seat ventilating and heating options. The next tab is lock. Under locks, you have several options for how the unlocking and locking works, along with windows. There's also a feature in here which auto closes the windows when it's raining. And then we have notifications. Safety alert broadcast will tell you when things are wrong, like a door's been left open or you've left a window down. Broadcast volume is how loud their voice is. Media volume decreasing when navigating. Intelligent voice assist settings is how you change the BYD voice command. Below is the system's key sound, whether you want noise when clicking through options. Our next tab is towing mode. Automatic indicator detection. This is when you plug in a trailer, you can check that all the indicators and brake lights are working on your trailer. The last one is cabin perception. This is where you find your driver monitoring settings, fatigue warning, etc. This is where the little camera on the A pillar is watching you to make sure you're not falling asleep or lack of paying attention while driving. Next is the child presence detection. This will pick up whether something's been left inside the vehicle and finds the movement, whether it's a pet or a child. Everybody outside the car will be alerted with flashing lights, honking horns, and it's a great safety feature when the vehicle is locked. The last page is for service. This is where you can display your maintenance intervals and mileage for reminders of when you need your next service. The next tab is overhaul. Below has some maintenance functions like checking front wipers, the electronic trailer brake mode, and there's an option to go into the owner's manual too. You can also find the owner's manual in the apps. Click this, search for what you're trying to find, or use the search function. And finally, we have vehicle info. In this screen, it tells you if the vehicle currently has any faults. Here you'll find your center storage compartment. This has a USB, USB-C, and an auxiliary power socket. Up top here, you'll find the auto dimming rearview mirror, interior lights, which you simply push to turn on, and a sunglass holder. The sun visor operates in the normal way. Slide this across the mirror, and an interior light turns on as well. Charging your Shark 6 is simple. Firstly, make sure the truck is unlocked, then click on the charge flap. You'll find your charging port on the driver's side of the ute. The fuel flap is on the passenger side of the ute. Take out the cover, plug in your charger. When first plugging in your charger, you'll get the initializing yellow flashing light. Once the charging is started, this will start flashing green. If you have an error, you'll have a red flashing light. This is usually due to the power supply not being correct. The top port is for AC charging. If you want to use a DC fast public charger, you need to remove the bottom cap. The charger will fill both holes. When you plug in the charger, lock the car, which will lock the charger in place so no one can remove it. If you want to remove the charger halfway through charging, simply unlock the truck twice and you can pull the charger out. To find your charger, simply pull this lever here to release the rear seat. You'll find the charger positioned behind the seat here. Pull that out. Here you'll find your normal AC charger that you can plug into any household socket. When you're ready to refuel your Shark, simply push the fuel release button down here. Opening your fuel flap is the same as the charge flap. Push on this, which will open. Release your fuel cap, place in the holder, and put your 91 grade fuel into the tank. There's 3 ways to open the tailgate. Either your button on the key fob, press twice on the tailgate itself, or the button inside the cabin. To close your tailgate, you have to do this manually. If you leave it open, you will get a warning. find a button on the passenger side of the tray which turns the tray lights on and off. Over here on the driver's side, you'll find there's 3 230 volt charging ports in the back of the tray, which deliver 6.6 kilowatts worth of power. These are a handy feature which allows you to use your BYD Shark as a mobile generator. Great for powering tools, great for the farm, or any camping site. If you are to ever run your battery flat, your petrol motor will simply charge your battery back up. You'll find another 230 volt power socket in the back of the cab here. This is great for charging things like laptops. You can set this up so it continues charging while the vehicle's locked. Join me down here for the tow bar. If you've optioned your Shark with a tow bar, you'll need to remove this from the kit, place it inside the hole here, get your pin and clip out of the bag, line up the pin, and put your clip in the other side to secure it. Your Shark 6 comes ready to tow. You'll find your trailer wiring plug to the left of the tow bar here. To find your jack and spare tyre kit, simply pull this lever here to release the rear seat. Behind the seat, you'll find your jack here. Unwind the jack so it lowers, pull it out to the side and out. You'll also find the toolkit for changing your spare wheel. Inside your toolkit here, you'll find a socket for your wheel, 3 bars to lower the spare wheel from the bottom of the ute. What you do next is connect these 3 bars together. Once you've put the rod through the hole, you'll see this barcode sticker, and to the right of that, there's a socket that you'll want to put these bars into. I find it a lot easier if you grab your torch from your phone, go through this middle hole so you can see where the socket is, line it up, and make sure it's secure. Grab this piece here, put it in the end, and simply turn it around anti-clockwise to lower the spare wheel. To open the bonnet, simply pull this lever twice, located just above the accelerator pedal. Pull it straight up. Under the bonnet here, there's not too much that you need to know. If you want to top up your windscreen washer bottle, fill that up with water there. Things like coolant, brake fluid, they've all got sensors attached to them. If they're running low, they'll warn you on the dash. To check your engine oil, lift this cover up, pull the dipstick. If you ever find yourself with a flat battery, remove this fuse box cover on the passenger side of the vehicle. Place your positive terminal here, negative terminal here, to safely jumpstart the 12 volt battery. That was the BYD Shark 6 walkthrough with the team here at Ebbett. Drive safe and thanks for watching.